game we have for you tonight as we get set to bring you NBA action on 2K Sports. Alongside Richard Jefferson, Greg Anthony, and our reporter David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. And we got another seat right here in the NBA, no better insider than Shams Charania. Hey, Shams, great to have you with us.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. It's great to be here. I'm honored. I'm privileged.
Look at Richard Jefferson. He's like a kid in the candy store. He cannot wait to talk to you.
Yes, we love RJ.
Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. You take a look at the Warriors. Fourth in the conference, an excellent season so far for them, though they'd like to jump into the top tier, maybe the top three. And checking out Phoenix, 2 games back.
And for the Warriors, this hasn't been the breakout season that many were predicting, but they're still very much in the hunt for a high postseason seed, and that will keep them focused here during the season's final stages.
From here on out is just about putting in the work, coming to every game ready to compete, and never giving less than your best.
Now Golden State's starting 5. Up front, it's Green at the 4 with Jackson Davis at the 5. Then it's Wiggins, then there's Stephen Curry, and it's Waters in at the shooting guard position. And for the Suns, up front, Durant plays the 4 with Nurkic at the 5. Booker out there with Tyus Jones. And it's Beal in at the 3, the small forward. And it's the Suns' ball. And the Warriors' dynasty with their core seemingly over. You never want to completely stretch them out. But, Shams, how are we going to remember the run that this remarkable franchise has had?
You could make a case that the 2017 team might be the best to ever play, and the Warriors have become an elite franchise in NBA history. It might be a while since we see a dynasty quite like this, especially with the big 3 of Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson.
Hall of Famers, great coaching, solid ownership, they had it all.
It's the sheer size of Nurkic. It's his girth. It is so tough to contend with.
Now let's send it over to David Aldridge, who was able to talk with Mike Budenholzer.
Now I asked him about the challenge they face in defending Steph Curry. He said Steph is so hard to contain because of his constant movement off the ball. Conventional defenses won't work against him. The matchups will be fluid. He'll see a lot of different guys coming at him. He's looking and needing a total group effort. Back to you guys.
Thank you, David. Now Booker after the missed 3 from Stephen Curry. Booker outside. From 15 feet away, Andrew Wiggins grabs the board.
And usually that's a bucket for him, but look, nobody's perfect in the mid-range.
Shams, with as often as you've interacted with front offices all over the NBA, have you noticed any changes with how franchises operate with both the players and the media and that relationship and where it may be headed?
Everything has to be more specialized now in the organization, but you're seeing true partnerships develop with teams and their players, especially their top players. The teams have to pay more attention now to data, to metrics than ever before. And the relationship between the top players in the organization, that is very, very important. And the teams that do a good job of managing relationships, of managing expectations, that is clearly what separates the elite teams with the bottom teams. And certainly players in today's generation are very, very polished when it comes to media.
Oh, you framed that so well. And so Steve Kerr calls for the timeout. He wants to make some adjustments to the game plan, clearly.
It's time for Dance Camp. If you see yourself on the big screen, then you know what to do. Show us your move. You must have left their dancing shoes at home. Let's see those moves. Keep it going.
Hey, Shams, we know you've reported on so many big trades that did happen. Were there ever a few that were close to happening but may have fallen apart at the 11th hour?
I always wait until things are 100% confirmed, but listen, there's always a trade or two that's viewed as done but just does not happen, whether it sours, whether something falls apart. There's always one deal or two that falls apart at the trade deadline or in the offseason, but I try to wait as best I can and make sure that when I report, it is confirmed.
Now, here's Curry. Checking some stats on him right now. He's averaging just around 22.5 points a game. 4 on the clock. Green inside the three-point line. Booker pulls it in. And so Booker will bring it up for the Suns. And good, as it just snugs right down through the net.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Here's Waters. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. Curry with the bucket.
It doesn't matter if it's off the bounce or off the catch. Curry never loses rhythm on his jump shot.
Well, we've talked about expansion. That has been floated around. We know that teams would have to realign. Shams, any ideas on which teams might have to shift with expansion in the East or West?
Certainly, most of the potential expansion cities, the high-level ones, have been noted as teams in the West. Maybe you have a team out east that is in the West moving into the Eastern Conference. But the league could obviously surprise everyone with a different solution. Maybe having one expansion team be an Eastern Conference team, one being a West. There's several options that Adam Silver and the NBA have.
I would think New Orleans would be one of those teams, right? Just where they are geographically. Memphis, those two teams are in the West, and I could see them maybe going east.
Certainly Minnesota and Memphis. Those are two teams that, to me, have an Eastern Conference team.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option.
This is his first chance at the line tonight.
Shoot two.
And that one falls for Jones. When you look at the NBA, Shams, any changes you'd like to see?
To me, it's having players stay healthy, right? I would love to have a rule that players just play and the top players are there playing the most meaningful moments of regular season games and allowing players to have freedom defensively. And the league can find plenty of other ways to discourage players, but to allow players to really be there in the big moments, to defend at a high level. And I would just love to have a healthy serum that we can spread around the league and keep these guys on the field.
I think here at the table, we're all nodding our heads, looking up and down. We all agree completely with what you're saying. Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Hey, Kevin. Despite suffering a first-round sweep in last season's playoffs, the Suns' front brass remains confident that they were mere inches from where they needed to be to compete for a title, emphasizing that chemistry is built over time and through the fire. Hope is, with another year to coalesce, this team will be ready for a deeper run. Kevin?
Well, they've got the names. They've got a big coach now coming in. All right, D.A., thank you. Here's Kuminga. Phoenix able to drain the three.
You know, the right thing there to try to fade away with the D all over him, but that is a difficult shot to sink.
And finished off by Nurkic.
The power of Yusuf Nurkic. He absorbs contact as well as anyone.
Warriors trail by 7. There's 53 seconds left to play in the first. Healed against Booker. Healed right side. Pass to Podziemski. Over Jones. Again, Golden State. 36 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Outside, KD. From 13. And good. Got the English that time as it falls. Durant's got his second bucket of the night.
It just looks too easy. Durant with the skill and height to get anything he wants from the mid-range.
Here's Pajemski, defended by Jones. Floats it up for Kuminga. No good, shot missing.
No, and that would have been a spectacular alley-oop. Really difficult to get the timing right on those long ones.
And so it's the Phoenix Suns heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. We'll get right back to the action when we return. And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And from what we've seen, guys, from Phoenix, what do you guys see?
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
It's been a group effort, and that's what it takes to play the kind of defense that they've played. Great showing from them.
We have all these great foreign players. Maybe 3 of the top 5 players in the NBA are all foreign players, right? And so much was made of Anthony Edwards. There's a 22-year-old American player who has maybe the charisma, the game, the everything you could package. It could be our next great player. Is there ever talk around the league about why are European players being so dominant? Where are the great young American players to compete against this great influx of international players?
The grassroots programs, you have to look at what happens abroad and in the States. You have to give a lot of credit to the way that they develop players over in Europe. In any of those regions, they do a great job. And those players are hungry, they're driven, they're passionate. They're trying to get here to the States and play basketball at the highest level in the NBA. And you see at the amateur level, there can be a lot of fluidity, there can be a lot of influx. And players are given so much so soon in America. So to be able to have that chip on your shoulder, to have the passion, and to exude the confidence that Anthony Edwards has, the younger generation of players definitely have someone in Anthony Edwards to look up to.
Myers is out there with Grayson Allen. Then it's Plumlee. Then it's O'Neal. And it's Beal in at the small forward. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Suns. Hield on the double team. Allen outside. Over Looney. Allen's shot is off. Warriors trail by 7. Well, the latest CBA introducing the second apron, limiting Shams what teams above the cap can do. How does that new rule affect teams?
Decision makers tell me that they're very much keeping an eye on the second apron, not only of their team, but others, and teams that will have to shed salary because of the second apron and the amount of big contracts we're going to see teams give to players. You're going to see it at the top, but that may dwindle in the middle of their roster. But we will see a more competitive league because of these new CBA changes, and less of a chance of super teams, just more parity and dispersed talent.
Do you constantly read over some of these CBA agreements? I would assume that you do, to have a full understanding of terms like the apron, like we just talked about, or all the other things, the luxury tax, all the things that make deals possible.
It's one thing to have luxury tax, it's a whole nother animal now to have the second apron. And that, certainly for teams that are deep in the second apron, that limits their ability to go make major trades, to be able to sign players for more than the minimum. And we're seeing that happen to at least 1 or 2 teams around the league right now. So how will that impact things? But certainly the CBA being 50, 60, 70 pages, that's something you pour through before every calendar year.
It is just fascinating. Green, and he comes up with the deuce. Green's got his first bucket in this one. And Shams, we know you are so connected and on top of so many great stories and players and trends in the NBA. I have to ask, what is your... like I'm talking to my teenage daughter. What is your screen time like? You've got to be in front of that computer and clearly in front of your phone every minute, or at least most every minute of every hour of every day.
It's not as high as it needs to be, Kevin, I'll tell you that much. Thankfully, it's not always like that, but certainly at the biggest times of the year, free agency, draft, trade deadline, it is certainly up there, almost in the 19 to 20 range. Kevin, what's your screen time? I feel like you might have a high screen time. You want to be plugged in. I know it.
I take 2 months off in the summer, but for those 10 months, it's 7 days a week, a lot like you. But I know how much happens in the offseason. That's my interest in sitting next to you here courtside tonight, is that you're watching this game, but your mind is always thinking about this and that, and it never ends. Like, you must not get much sleep. You cannot get much sleep, right? My goodness.
We do get sleep, but your offseason is my season, Kevin, and I want to make sure as we get this season going, I'm able to inform you.
And you always do. You always do. And the officials calling for a 3-second violation. And now we'll reveal the most reliable free throw shooters in the league with a look at the real stats, real scores from the real NBA. Third is Stephen Curry.
He's not going to miss many foul shots. That's for sure. He is a machine when he gets to the charity stripe.
Green, he's checked in for Kyle Anderson. Phoenix leading by 7. Booker outside. Strong finish inside from Booker.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Wiggins outside. And Wiggins throws it down.
Get off of that, man. Wiggins is that dude.
We've got 1:55 left in the first half. Outside, KD. Plumlee with the screen. Oh, KD buries the 3.
The range KD possesses makes him a constant threat outside. The defense has to be all over him.
And stolen by Booker. Pass to Durant. The 3. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. And this is their first time matched up with the Suns this season.
And they were able to take the season series in that matchup last year. But overall, two teams that were very similar in the standings.
And Shams, what an absolute delight it has been having you courtside with all of us tonight. Thank you so much for taking time to join us. It has been a true pleasure.
Thanks so much for the invite. I can't wait to do it again sometime. I'm honored. I'm privileged.
Oh, we are going to hold you to that. Thank you again. Oh, wasn't that wonderful? Easy to see why Shams has so many sources around the game. He's so easy to talk to.
Yeah, it's all about relationships at the end of the day. When the conversations come easily, that suits his purpose as a reporter.
Greg, since reaching 5 consecutive NBA Finals, the Warriors have missed the playoffs 3 of the past 5 years.
And to be fair, they did go 46-36 last season. They were 10 games over 500 last year. So they weren't a bad team, but Golden State doesn't just expect to be in the play-in. They want to be a contender.
And it's Jones with the ball for the Suns. They host the Spurs after this one. Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, last season, Draymond Green got his three-pointer going again. He said, over the years, my shot took a dive. It was in large part because I couldn't get in and out of my hips. They were messed up. It was getting my movement patterns right. Kevin, my hips haven't been the same in years, but Draymond's are good. Now they've made him tough to deal with. Back to you.
Your hips are pretty good, David. I've always said your hip. Floor spacing, always critical. Good point, D.A. Puts up a deep 3. It's rebounded by Waters. Warriors trail by 11. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Curry through traffic. Count it! Oh!
And despite the hot start from beyond, they've gotten away from shooting the triple.
For 3, Booker. The basket is good. That's his 6th attempt and his 3rd make.
The defense a step slow. You can see the results.
Jones against Curry. And stolen by Booker. That shot is off. And so it's the Phoenix Suns enjoying a 12-point lead as they talk things over during the break. The one goal they had coming into this game was to not let Curry beat them. And so far, their defense on Steph has been tremendous. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Andrew, they shot the lights out in the first half. What has to change?
Get back. Focus on getting back, guarding your man.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
Come one, come all.
In that game against the Spurs, this looks like a complete toss-up to me. Talent level is similar. These games often come.
And let's talk now about the first half in our game. Devin Booker been doing his thing.
Putting up points, not.
And that is it for halftime, folks.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. We've seen Kevin Durant really have a great game.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters? He has been terrific.
He always wants to be a go-to guy for them. I'm sure he'll be calling for the ball even more in this half.
And on the floor for Steve Kerr as we get into the second half. In at small and power forward, it'll be Wiggins and Green. Then there's Stephen Curry. Then it's Trace Jackson Davis. And it's Waters in at the 2 spot. Here's Booker. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Second personal
And the All-Star, Devin Booker, an incredible scoring guard.
Since the moment he got drafted by the Phoenix Suns, he has been a beacon of consistency. Every single year he gets better. Every single year he adds something to his game. That's why Devin Booker is one of the best guards in this league.
Free throw good, Booker. Analytics or the eye test? The optics or the numbers in front, Greg? When you're judging the performance of a player, what kind of criteria do you use?
Well, an MVP candidate recently said, my eye test tells me this guy's a terrible defender, but the analytics tell me he's a great defender. I'm confused, and I often feel the same way.
And what an advantage. You really feel like you can always trust him when he's at the line.
Waters passes to Curry. Green with a screen on Jones. Curry can't get it to go. Suns leading by 14. Durant up top, guarded by Curry. Offline from the top of the key.
Well, they'll be happy with that look, even though it didn't fall.
Tough to watch those miss. I'm sure they'll convert the next chance.
Puts up a deep 3. And the Warriors get it back. Pass to Green. Golden State moving it around. And it's Wiggins with the jam.
I love it when Wiggins is aggressive on offense, especially when he's near the rim.
Booker looking around. Shot from 12. It's rebounded by Golden State. Jackson Davis has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Curry with it. From deep. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins.
3-point field goal.
Curry's got it back down to a single-digit deficit for the Warriors. Jones, the pass to KD. Off target from outside.
Off to a bit of a slow start in the second half. 0 for 3 so far.
Here's Jackson Davis. He's guarded by Nurkic. Pass to Waters. Shot clock at 6. Here's Green, and he slams it down right on top of Kevin Durant.
And one thing about Draymond, he almost invites contact.
Awesome display of athleticism captured by our AT&T 5G Slam Cam. And so Booker will bring it up for the Suns. They've led by as many as 14 points. Fades and shoots. It's good. Booker's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Finally, they get one to drop. That's one of their first 4 here in the third.
And so Steve Kerr calls for the timeout. He wants to check in with his team and regroup.
offensive numbers for Jones, he's been a factor for them over the last month. He's averaging 11 points a game, 7 assists, and 2 rebounds. He's been making the right decisions and letting the game come to him. Solid play all around.
Yeah, not playing outside himself, but finding lots of chances to do his thing and affect the game.
A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. And here is Beal. No scoring in this one. Nails the 16-footer.
Nice work there from Beal in the mid-range.
Warriors trail by 8. Green with a screen on Jones. Inside. Green, no luck. For Phoenix, they've gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. Durant for 3. Good. A nice assist from Booker. Booker's got 4 assists now tonight.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Wiggins surveying the floor. The 3-ball. And it's Durant with the rebound.
Oh, he really wanted that triple. Even though he missed, I really like the competitiveness I'm seeing.
Warriors foul. Andrew Wiggins. Third personal foul.
For Phoenix, they've hit all 4 of their chances so far in this one.
At the line for Phoenix, Bradley Beal taking 2 shots.
And that one falls for Beal.
First and foremost, Bradley Beal is a scorer. He's always working the angles, trying to find his next opening to attack, and it rarely takes him long.
Grayson Allen's checked in for Jones. Warriors trail by 13. Now here's Hield. He's been playing a big part of their offensive scheme, averaging around 15.5 points a game. Durant with it, now guarded by Hield, and then Durant with the jam.
Boy, you have to be impressed with the offensive production. They have got it firing on all cylinders.
They've had great execution, and what stands out is that they're just taking what the defense gives them, not forcing anything.
And he makes that one. Hield's got 5.
And what a show of